This week on commandN, Alice in Wonderland Live, behind the green screen and chat roulette. Welcome to episode 206 of commandN. I'm Amber.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are here at PodCamp in Toronto, and Jeff spoke here yesterday.
Yeah, it was just a great event, huge turnout and a lot of interesting talks, so it's been a real pleasure to be here this weekend for sure.
And yeah, like you said, great turnout. I think they got more than 700 people, so that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely, 60 speakers, something like that, and just some great stuff for sure.
Love it. All right, let's get right into it and talk about the tech headlines of the week. Our headlines this week are brought to you by our good friends over at GoDaddy.com. They have amazing deals for all of our viewers. One of the best is domain names for $7.49. All you have to do is enter the promo code COM749. It's pretty easy, COMM749. But we also have other great deals at commandN.tv/GoDaddy, so check them out. I was reading on Reuters that a survey was done and a bunch of experts were surveyed about the future of the internet and how it makes us smarter. And the majority of them agreed that this is in fact true. So Jeff, we can surf all we want.
Well, now 21% of them did say they thought the opposite was true, that it was going to dumb us down and whatever, but that's obviously a minority of the people there. So we'll have to see. I know it's gradually made you less and less intelligent over the years.
Oh, I love doing the show with my brother.
In other news, WordPress.com, not WordPress CMS sites, but WordPress.com hosted sites, went down for almost 2 hours the other day, including TechCrunch. There was 10.2 million sites down. If you noticed that there were a lot of blogs and stuff not online, that was it. The whole infrastructure just closed down for 110 minutes or something.
But WordPress still rocks.
Oh yeah, CMS sites are doing just fine. It's just the WordPress hosting.
There is a place like no place on earth. A land full of wonder.
I am a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland, and I was very happy to hear that Johnny Depp was starring in that movie.
Alice, you're terribly late, you know. Naughty.
Now, they actually did an event on Ustream recently where they streamed live footage, and it got 400,000 views. And this was a partnership between MySpace and Ustream. So pretty impressive, and does show you can get those big numbers out there when you're doing live events.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see that movie too. Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, that's a great pairing, and Alice in Wonderland's pretty surreal stuff. In other, I guess, media-related news in some sense, Apple's now going through their App Store and being even more, I guess, a little harder-nosed about anything where they think it's adult content, right down to not allowing any bikini pictures or anything like that at all. And the idea, people think, is just that they're prepping for when the iPad launches, that it's going to be very much a kind of family-targeted thing. So they want to get rid of any content that they think is too adult-oriented. But
it's kind of weird though if you think about it, because in the iTunes store there are movies that they sell that are violent, they have nudity, and so it's funny that they would go and they would clamp down on this. Obviously they're not fans of swimming, because how do you swim without a bathing suit on?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I found this really awesome video where they show you how green screen technology is used. So if you've ever wondered with your favorite TV shows or movies how they do some of the effects, especially outdoor scenes, this video gives you a glimpse into really kind of what's happening backstage on production sets.
And it's a lot more productions than you think it's used on, right? They're able to do it quite well nowadays, but you'd be surprised at what some of them are for sure. And if you want to be really surprised with some video, if you haven't heard about this, and this is very much not a family-friendly thing, but the 17-year-old Russian high school student has created a site called Chat Roulette. And what it is, it brings up a video chat window for you and for a random person at the other end, and it's got a next button. And it is one of the most bizarre, probably disturbing for a lot of the time, sites you could ever look at. It's a very, very, very strange thing, but what has happened is now there's sites popping up around chat roulette that are doing screen captures of some of the sort of the best choices there. So it's all random, so it's hard to find. But one of the popular ones is called chatrululls.com. And they've got some great, some guy in a Where's Waldo costume popping up there.
Funny.
They've got some Star Wars things, so you can check it out. You might want to go to the chatrululls.com site before you try out chat roulette. It will give you a bit of a taste for, there's nudity, there's disturbing images,
there's chat roulette.
Yeah, there's no rules at all.
And if you go in there, we should mention as well, we were talking about this, it's like you said, not family friendly.
No.
So don't have your kids around. And I would recommend maybe wearing a disguise. I don't know if you have any final advice on
I
that.
wouldn't go on there without a mask, that is for sure. So we're here with Todd Maffin, who's been covering technology and media in Canada for years, who has just launched a website called casestudiesonline.com that I think is a really interesting and useful site. Can you tell us a bit about what you can do?
Sure. Well, the problem that I wanted it to solve was, as you've probably had this happen yourself, you work with a client in PR, or maybe you are a PR client or you're a company, and you want to find a really good example of case study, like a case study example of social media marketing in the wild that's actually happened. Because it's kind of hard to do that, right? To find the perfect case study. And you can, let's say that you're let's say that you're a restaurant and you want to use a Twitter campaign to target moms. So good luck in Google. You can type those terms in and you're going to get thousands and thousands of things that might have had those words but aren't. So my website, casestudiesonline.com, solves that problem. It's a giant database of hundreds of case studies, all categorized by brand, by demographic that they're reaching, by the target, by the tactic you use. So you can say, in the automotive industry, I need to find examples of where Facebook pages and Facebook applications have been used for a contest. And it will go through the database in about a second and a half and find the case studies that match that criteria.
And so where do you get your content from? Are people submitting it directly to you? Is there infrastructure for that, or where do you get the content?
Well, casestudiesonline.com just launched fairly recently, the last few weeks, right? So some stuff is coming in, but think of it like Google. So Google doesn't actually write all the content out there on the web. It basically just categorizes and indexes it. So that's the same thing that Case Studies Online does. So there's lots of great websites out there. WOMA.org, I think. There's lots of these places that have written case studies. Sometimes they're HP, Microsoft, companies that have written them about their clients. So Case Studies Online goes and finds those and then provides a link. So it's kind of like a Google, but a very niche thing. It's the Google of social media marketing case studies.
Yeah, that's quite a niche thing. So what do you see as next steps for this now that it's up and you've got that the infrastructure to choose all those different category types and get your information like that? Are there other things on the horizon for it? Or?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. So right now I'm going to just sort of gauge based on how many people are signing up to get the daily newsletter because every time there's one published, the next morning you'll get like a summary of the case studies. So I'm going to gauge kind of like what industries people are interested in and what tactics, and then you'll start to see rollout of interviews. So this is actual content that I've done that folks that work with me on the site are doing. So in the case of, say, if you're a realtor, you'd be able to download an MP3 that's, say, 2 hours of essentially a show that has interviews of other realtors who have done examples of marketing. So you can really build on their experience, hear from them, and that kind of thing. So it'll be like a one repository place for it.
Excellent. So where did the idea come from in the first place?
Because I was Googling and I couldn't find anything. I was looking for, I'm doing some work in the US for a client that's in the travel insurance industry, and they wanted me to talk about social media. Well, good luck trying to find that in a Google search, right? Because it uses, like, insurance is a huge word, travel is a huge word on the internet. So I thought, like, someone must have built this database, right? And I couldn't find it if it exists. So I just started putting something privately just together. And so for a couple of months, I was just the only one using it. It didn't have a name. It was just, I could go on and I could say, okay, travel insurance, social media example where they used email marketing. And it would pop up. And then I thought, why don't I just make a nice logo and make this public for everyone? So that's what I did.
Absolutely. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people happy that you did. Todd Maffin, casestudiesonline.com. So it's time for our web picks. Amber, what do you got for us this week?
I have this nifty website where you can plug in any domain name or URL like ambermac.com, and it will generate a song based on the code on your website.
Oh, that's
You
pretty
would like
cool.
this, being a music and tech fan.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that, see how they might be doing something like that.
I love it. What about you?
Well, I did a usability user experience talk here at PodCamp, so I thought I'd do something relevant to that, and the site is usability.gov. It's a site aimed in the States, aimed at government, but really anyone can use it. That just gives a ton of great usability tips, how to make your site more usable and useful. It's very handy stuff, so take a peek through there.
Everyone should read it. Anyone who has a website should read about usability.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for this week. As always, you can find us online at commandN.tv. You can leave us a comment there. We're always in the comment section.
Yeah, you can email us at info@commandN.tv or email segment ideas to segments@commandN.tv, and yeah, or just put them up in the comments thread so everyone can share them, which is probably the best idea.
Best way to do it. All right, thanks for watching and have a great week. So tired.